glass, I'm going to share a real quick tip with you. That big shout out I learned from Jamie Kovacs-Barres on Facebook. Jamie does some amazing stuff. I don't know if you've seen her things before, but look her up. She's she's really a very talented artist, and she shared, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, how she makes simple candy corn, and I thought it was just genius, and so wanted to share it with you quickly as I made a batch here in the kiln. So I've just got my colors here. I've used bullseye glass, my orange and yellow and white, and I cut strips. These are 1/2-inch strips, and I've stacked them 2 up, and basically you're making a pattern bar. So what I'm going to do is do a full fuse on these, and I'll show you the next step here in a second. Okay, so the piece has been full fused. As you see, I have a nice little kind of pattern bar effect here. And what I've done here is I just took a ruler and a Sharpie, and I just crudely drew out some triangles for my cuts. I didn't measure them or get all, fancy with the angles. I just eyeballed it. And then this is it's called a handheld tile cutter. And I bought this at Lowe's. It was less than $9, like $8.20 or something at Lowe's. I'm sure you could find something similar at Home Depot. So this is 6mm glass, which can be harder to cut. And so, there are varieties of ways to tackle this. If you've got a saw, particularly a tile saw, boom, you can plow through this really quickly. I don't have a tile saw. If you have a ring saw or even a glass band saw, sure, that would work. I just didn't want the mess, and I do have a saw. I don't love it, and wanted to move through this quickly. So, but 6mm glass can be hard to cut and break. And as you see here, I just had an accident, so it's not always perfect. But what you do, this has a cutter wheel on it, just like your glass cutter, and it's got a built-in breaker. And so, it's not foolproof, and you might get a little bit of loss, but all you do is just kind of roughly, apply some pressure and score it just like you would doing a regular glass cut. I don't know if you can hear that, and sorry, I've got the fans running because it's still hot here. Let me finish these. This might not be good because I'm kind of rushing it, but let me just pick an angle here and break it. So this one in particular has a lock on it, so you just open the lock up in order to open it wider. You put this against your glass, kind of along your score line. Give it a break. Give it a break. It's probably better to go at that base side. And so you just flip it around. See, that one didn't cut quite so cleanly, although I don't think it's a total loss. Probably just like cutting glass, right? It depends on the score line. That one didn't cut very clean. And so what you get, are some triangles here that were, in my opinion, easier to cut than trying to do it the traditional way. You could buy, they make glass cutters that are for 6mm glass. You could buy those. I just didn't want to. I would rather spend $8 on something like this and give it a run. This one, for instance, has a little bit of extra here. I've got a grinder. I'll just run along the grinder edge and kind of shape it up a little bit, and it'll be good to go. Same here. If I just give that a little bit of shaping on the grinder, I should be good. This obviously is a loss. But anyway, that is how you can move through these relatively quickly. So now I'll go do a full fuse on them, and we'll see how they turn out. Okay, here we go. These, I took them up to a full fuse in the kiln, and I think they turned out well. So whether the white is on the top or whether the white's on the bottom, I think they both have a great look to them. There are a variety of things you can do with these. So you could, glue a pin back to it and make it a little lapel pin. You could glue a jewelry bail to the top and make it a pendant. If you had smaller ones, you could even make those earrings. I've done all of those things before. You can simply glue a magnet to the back and make it a seasonal magnet. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a few of these and I'm gonna tack fuse them to a blank, and then I'm gonna slump that into a little candy dish that I think will look nice for the holidays. So lots of options here. Hope you're doing well, everybody. Getting through 2020 and staying safe and getting ready for fall. Thanks, bye-bye.